Next, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan is in Azerbaijan, joining officials there for celebrations to mark their military victory against Armenia. The conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan erupted over the long-disputed territory of Nagorno-Karabakh and raged on for 6 weeks. The military parade was a display of force and a display of the strong ties that link Baku and Ankara. Well, Senior Reporter Catherine Norris-Trent went to Azerbaijan twice to cover that conflict for us. Hi, Catherine.
Hi.
Now, as we mentioned, President Erdogan is in Baku today for the pomp and ceremony of this military parade. What can we take away from his attendance there?
Yeah, and he's the guest of honour at this military parade, a victory parade as it's being described there in Azerbaijan. Erdogan's presence really symbolises the links between Azerbaijan and Turkey. You know, often on the ground we heard them referred to as one nation, two states, and they're both Turkic-speaking countries and really important strategically for Turkey in the region. Azerbaijan gives actual link to Turkey to other Turkic-speaking countries in Central Asia, and it's very important in terms of its power in the region to try and reinforce its presence there. They have long historic links, of course, which Turkey under Erdogan is really trying to reinforce at the moment. And we saw that in this recent conflict over Nagorno-Karabakh. We saw the decisive difference, really, that the Turkish military cooperation made in this conflict, particularly via the use of Turkish drones, which were very effective on the battlefield in taking out a lot of the tanks the Armenian forces were using there. Now, to what extent Turkey was involved militarily is a question, because they've given clearly open political backing right from the start. There's been training, there's been the use of Turkish-made drones. Armenia accused Turkey of direct military involvement, which Baku and Ankara have denied. Turkey also accused, even at one stage by French President Emmanuel Macron, of sending mercenaries from Syria to fight in Azerbaijan. Now, Azerbaijan and Turkey have strenuously denied that several times. There have been videos coming out on social media. They've been dismissed as fake news by Azerbaijan and Turkey. But clearly a very close ally, very important militarily. When I asked the Azerbaijani president, Ilham Aliyev, in October, how decisive the use of Turkish drones were in this conflict, he said that they had made all the difference.
Indeed, that's interesting, because that's the official position from Baku, and we can see here a government-organised ceremony with all that pomp and ceremony of a military parade. But when you were covering the conflict there, more about the hearts and minds, we can see a lot of national pride. What did you observe on the ground?
A huge amount of national fervour, basically. Today, Baku is decorated with the flags of Azerbaijan and Turkey, but it pretty much was throughout our reporting there, from shop windows, people's apartments, on cars. There were a lot of flags on display, a lot of national pride on display. And pretty much anyone we stopped and asked had the same kind of rhetoric, that this time it was going to be the decisive conflict, that Azerbaijan was going to be victorious and take back lands that it hadn't had since the 1990s. So clearly this message of national pride and fervour very much getting through to the population. A lot of support for the war. And very interestingly, now going back after the end of this conflict, after the Russian brokered ceasefire, and you're asking people, so what about the future now for Nagorno-Karabakh, which at the moment is being policed by Russian troops, Russian peacekeepers. Some people saying that wasn't the case, that, that there had been all-out victory, that Azerbaijan had retaken all of Nagorno-Karabakh, not with this parcel of land, which for 5 years at least is, home to the presence of Russian peacekeepers and some ethnic Armenians still living there, returning to live there. Some people didn't even seem aware of that. Some people questioning the veracity of that. In their minds, in the minds of a lot of people in Azerbaijan, this has been a decisive victory. So big questions about the future of the region, what kind of political solution can be made in the region. Clearly today, Azerbaijan feeling very strong indeed.
Thank you very much, Catherine Norris-Trent, there with analysis of the situation.